both of them do actually. Yeah, the critic and the
Oh, it's up.
oh, it is.
I do have a fluffy animal I could put on my shoulder. Didn't think of that, Miranda. Thank you. Very instant. What we've done? We've done it. Or rat. Ask my cat to bring one in. Two buzzing.
Thank you very much, everyone. I was so enamored with that, I forgot to do the most dramatic bit of the whole piece. The whole idea was to play that while the curtain went up, and I forgot. Anyway, sorry. First time in many days. Speaking of days, hello, welcome to 4 p.m. My name is Dean Stevenson. The musicians we have today. We have Hayato also operating the curtain, very clever. Hayato, Miranda, Anna, Sophie, and Aurora. Okay, so the next thing I say may make no sense to you who haven't read the blurb and don't know what's going on. That piece was not written today. What does that mean? It means that all the pieces that are played here were written in a single day. So I've written another one today and I haven't played it yet. So I haven't heard it, you haven't heard it, they haven't heard it, they're about to read it for the first time. I just printed it 15 minutes ago. And there we go. So every day a blank page is at 10 o'clock and we start from scratch and make something new. So today, and full disclosure, before I did pitch this idea to Mona some time ago, and on day one, on the first day that this installation started, I'd never actually done it. I'd never actually written a full work for a string ensemble in a day. Just thought it was kind of good, the pitch was solid. Shit my pants, didn't know what to do, but the idea is that I do hang out my dirty undies every day in front of you as I write it. You see me writing the piece. And it's going well so far, and today is day 246. So it's going, thank you, it's going well. The piece you just heard I wrote on day 210, which was end of February. So each of the pieces written in a day, and it doesn't promise quality, it doesn't promise that it always lands, it doesn't promise that it's going to be any good, as you shouldn't expect anything good every time you endeavour to do something that is unique, and that's what I guess anything creative is. It's a unique expression of yourself. So here, I thought I'd do it And we were doing it for a while, and now I'm going to start to do a rehearsal of today's piece. So welcome to the rehearsal. Who remembers rehearsal from high school band? Who's still traumatised by high school band? That's probably all of us. Who never got past third desk clarinet or third trumpet? I got my hand up because I never got past third trumpet. I was given second one time and promptly put back onto third. Terrible, terrible, awful. But anyway, this is a rehearsal, so we'll stop and start a bit, or maybe not, because today would be quite straightforward, I think. Another little waltz. So that one we just played was in 3, and here's another one that's kind of the same sort of feel. So as we rehearse, I'm going to keep the microphone on, and you can hear what we talk about, and you must ask questions if you don't know what I'm talking about. Just let's be clear and keep it awesome open. Okay, hello everybody. Yeah, everyone's pretty much playing a lot of the time. It's got the same sort of 3 and about the same pace as the one we just played. So here we go. Everyone will be walking in. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. It says on Dante, but I think we'll go a bit quicker. Yes. Quieter, yes. Bardo 1. Yeah. Okay, let's see what. So the only thing that really stands out is when we get to E, everyone kind of does a little trill and slows down, and then we just have viola on its own for a few bars until G. That's just, you say viola rubato. Rubato means slow it down, speed it up, do whatever you like. Face the back, I don't care.
That's slowing down.
And then everyone's back in at G. So this has a key signature, but I was pretty sure it was in F for most of the day, but then it ends on C, and it sounds like it's complete. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just did. All right. Here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it first. Lovely. All right, that just top there. So that was just read fresh off the page. Clever, very clever. For anyone who wants to, I've discovered this for myself. It's not new. I've discovered it for myself. I was, only so many days old when I realised that you can't write that if you're a guitarist. The reason why you can't is because it's that kind of classically kind of thing is written on that instrument. It's the way you can play something and you just move your thumb one note and suddenly everything goes, everything shifts. And so that's what today was, just explore. It doesn't sound like it's not a melody you can whistle on the way home, probably. It's pleasant, but harmonically it kind of moves around, and it's hard to do it when a shape-based thing like a guitar. So I've only figured out, really, I don't listen to that kind of stuff at home, really. It's not really my bag. But I'm writing for these instruments, and that's the instruments bag. History will tell us that. And written on that instrument, so historically, I haven't studied composition. 20 years ago, I arrived in Tassie with a drum kit in my car. I'd spent many years in pubs. Here I am. Weird. So I don't. These instruments call their history to us. Any questions about any of that? Yes.
At D.
Figure D.
Want me to treat them like trills?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
And the bar before E.
Bar before E.
Is it right I don't have any trills for that that bar.
Stick them in. Same as the bar before, thank you. Yes, I forgot to put the trills in that bar.
Blame the computer.
Everything else good? Yeah? Okay. Up the tempo a bit?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Yep. Okay, well, let's give it a... So, any questions or thoughts about what you've heard already? That's a big call. I hope to prove you wrong, buddy. The piece is not finished yet. It could be quoting Jimi Hendrix in a second. Just hang on. Should we... 1, 2, 3, right there?
Yep.
Chop again? First part. 1, 2, 3. Gin and tonic. Cucumber sandwiches. Fifth floor, ladies' lingerie, power tools, pet food. Go, Joe. Slow down. Nice act. It's such elevator music, isn't it? If there ever was. Sweet but ambiguous, but also completely forgettable. But lovely. Okay, does anybody have any questions I'd like to ask about any of that? Don't have to, but or anything you'd like to say? No? Okay. So often I get asked, what's my inspiration? I don't have any. I'm dry now. I've got nothing left. Just showing up is the inspiration. I encourage everyone to just show up. I show up and my hands go on the piano, boom, something comes up and I just follow it. So just the craft of music, like the craft of gardening and knowing the difference between flowers and weeds, the difference between what is melodic and what is dissonant, the difference between, putting the words in the right order so they make sense. It's just the craft of knowing a thing, just start to commit something to the page, and then eventually there's a melody, my thumb did that on the piano, and then it changed everything, I followed it, and away we go. So that's what happens today, and most days, because I don't have a great idea every day, and sometimes I do, and it still fails. Here we go. After 246 days, sometimes it works out really well. If you want to hear any of it, I've got, there's a recording here, download and a CD. Some of them are really good, and there's also a little circle on your table with a QR code that'll take you to Bandcamp. You can listen to some of the earlier days that we recorded here. We come into the night time when you or noisy people have gone home, and we do it, we kind of rehearse it well. So there's 16 of them on there, 16 out of 246. It's a small percentage, but then you shouldn't expect every piece of poo to be shiny like a diamond, should we? Sometimes it's just poo. It's actually poo. We roll it in glitter. These people are glitter. And we roll it in, yes? You just heard the rehearsal. Oh, we do it at night if we want to properly record, because we might just go, that sounded nice, but we want to make it really good. And if it's a really good piece, then we commit to doing it. I've done it 16 times. But generally, this might be the last time this ever gets played. Right here, who knows? So you're witnessing the first read through. Yes, sir, question? It's always at least a string quartet. Yep. We're going to have more double bass in at the moment, so it'll be a quintet, which is fun for me, but it's always at least a quartet. And that way, it's, that saying about insanity, if you ask the same question but expect a different answer, that's what this is. It's the same instruments, and I have to try and make them sound fresh and new every day. That's my, and yes, I am going insane. So I do know who's turning up, but it doesn't really matter, because as long as I have those instruments, if I wrote a quintet today and only 3 of them showed up, that'd be shit. So that's like cooking a big meal and, only the dog shows up, That was a bad analogy, sorry. That was terrible. I'm sorry. How do I cope with my auditory processing disorder? Yes, well, that manifests itself in a couple of ways. Auditory processing disorder doesn't mean I can't hear, I can hear. It's, the best way to describe it is for someone like a kid who could be a dreamy boy, dreamy kid, dreamy, off for the fairies. Sometimes they just fucking can't hear, or they have trouble paying attention. So I had a lot of ear troubles as a kid, so I couldn't hear what my parents and the teachers were saying. So if you give me 6 sentences of information, lots of the middle bit I've just, oh, fuck, what'd you say? And so suddenly I just go over here while I try and piece together what you might have said, and then I go, oh yeah, I'll have a good guess at that, and I come back, oh shit, while I've been away you've said something else, so I better grab what I can and go away, and then, so I'm just coming and going from the line all the time, and that's the dreamy kid bit, when you look at the ceiling going, what the fuck did they just say? So that manifests itself in it's tricky to just keep things in sequence together. For example, because I can't play the piano, I can check harmonies on it to write something, but I can't play it. Because by the time I look down at my hand, look back there again, so from the teacher to my head to the teacher to my head, the line gets broken 50 times and I can't put any of it together. That's just it. So I'm limited in what I can actually do and write. But once it's on the page, don't ask me to play it, because I can't. It's not something I can commit to. That's why they're here, because they can do it. It's a weird thing, yeah. So I don't necessarily have all the skills in my hands. I just hear lots of good music in here. Getting it out of here onto the page, that's the trick.
So do you write the notes for all of them?
I wrote all the notes for all the people, yes. Yeah, and it's all here on the score.
Yeah, definitely.
So if anyone hasn't seen the score before, violin, viola, cello, double bass, and I read them all at the same time. Well, I don't really. I just glance. Okay, shall we give this another go? And then because we've got a bit of time, we'll play something from a nice, slow, achy piece, which will be really, really good. So we'll give 246 today another shot. Thank you. If you've got one more listening, you've got some art, some more funginas to see. There's a live stream over here, so you can see this again if you're on this camera in front. Look up YouTube, Dean Stevenson, 4 p.m. You'll find it. All the days are live streamed. There's some recordings here as well, or the little QR code on your table. So we'll do this and then we'll play something else. Stay tuned. Here we go. Should be quicker.
Yeah. And before G, I'll bring it back into tempo.
Please, yes.
And just before E, I'll kind of lead that slow down. Yep.
Before
So I've got
E.
moving flavors.
Okay, yes,
But
thank
I
you,
won't
thank
do
you.
it on the one you didn't want
Yep.
before.
Yeah, which was, where was that?
And don't speed down, don't slow down at the end.
Yes.
Just power on through to the end.
Yep.
Bum, bum. Yeah, there's still like pits against a staccato at these shorts. Should be like fun at the last 2 minutes. Okay. How quick would you like to do it? How quick should we make them do it?
Just like,
Do you need me?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
Can you? No, you don't need me, do you? I think Aurora's got the. You're locking it in.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm thirsty. This is great.
He's been dismissed.
I'll just start.
Hayato, Miranda, Anna, Sophie, Aurora. Okay. There we go. Anybody have anything they'd like to ask or say about any of that? Any questions? Is it seem quizzical? That can be written in a day? Don't be quizzed. Don't be like, oh, I couldn't possibly, no, just, yeah, it can. So we'll play one more, bit of a treat for you. No one's going to miss the ferry, got time. We'll finish nice and early even. We'll do a 234. This is just for a bit of contrast. We played two little waltzy bits in three, so we'll try something a bit different now. This is a bit of a slower kind of one. This was inspired a few weeks ago. A friend of mine passed away, so I spent the weekend holding him to mind and writing some music about a man that was very generous with his wine and died in Superman pajamas. Those are facts. Okay. I know I like it, but I can't. And that's the funny thing, when you write so many pieces, at this point I cannot remember how it goes. I know I like it because I made a note of the number, but I actually couldn't tell you how it goes. Yeah, it all in an A. Okay. So it starts with a lovely melody in the cello, which is a suitable instrument for this fella who was my friend. Here we go. 2, 3. Whenever you like. you. Hayato, Miranda, Anna, Sophie, Aurora. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Dean Stevenson. You can do the QR code, watch the live stream, mailing list here because there's a book coming out in a few weeks as well. Stay in touch. I'm here until July, writing a new piece each day. Let's see what happens. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you.